Here are the hidden things that you didn't notice while watching Encanto. You really liked the character of Abuela Alma, the matriarch of the magical family. But you probably didn't notice that she looks a lot like another animation character you know well. You want a little help to remember? Then you'll have to go back to your childhood. Abuela Alma is a woman of a certain age with graying hair and hazel eyes. Now, imagine her a few years younger. Don't you think she looks strangely like Fauna, one of the three fairies in Sleeping Beauty? It's as if they were sisters in a previous life. Does this little flashback make you nostalgic? Now you feel like reenacting Sleeping Beauty, just like in the good old days. If you do, pay attention to Fauna. You'll realize that there is some truth in what I just said. Looking at Encanto, you probably didn't know that Bruno was hiding within the walls of the magic house, not even the magical family. On the other hand, there was one family member who knew about it, and it wasn't Dolores as you might think. Wait until you hear this theory entirely constructed by Encanto fans. You will be flabbergasted. In Encanto, most of the magical family members are given magical powers. Dolores has a highly developed sense of hearing, which allows her to know all the latest gossip in town, or Bruno can see the future. Throughout the film, it seems that Dolores knows that Bruno is hiding in Casita, but she is not sure of this, and she confides in Mirabel that she thinks she hears him mumbling, but she is not sure that the sounds come from him. Nevertheless, there is another member who knew that Bruno was hiding. In fact, according to a fan theory, Camilo was aware that his uncle Bruno was hiding in the walls. The theory claims that Camilo turns into Bruno during the song We Don't Talk About Bruno, although his uncle has been missing for several years. Camilo was very young when Bruno left, so creating an accurate representation that the latter is suspect. Also, the same theory notes that Disney's art of Encanto shows Camilo metamorphosing into an animal, suggesting this possibility that he became a rat, and that he knew his uncle by traveling through the walls of the house. I told you, you would be stunned by this incredible theory. Now you're psyching yourself out too. You've been very impressed with the magical family, but there's one character that intrigues you even more. She is Isabela, Julieta Madrigal's eldest daughter. Do you want me to tell you something incredible about this character? You will be surprised because it is something that you would never have noticed if I had not told you. Isabela, known for her elegance and beauty, has a gift that seems to be as perfect as she is. That of conjuring up beautiful flowers of different colors, sizes and shapes, decorating the ground at her feet as well as everything she lays her hand on. All this has not escaped you. But Isabela doesn't agree with Abuela's expectations of perfection, because she wants to live the life she wants, to evolve her power by growing all kinds of plants according to what she wants and not what others want. Ever since she was a little girl, Isabela has hidden her true feelings and accepted Abuela's orders without a second thought. It is also because of this that her relationship with her sister Mirabel is not so good, because according to her, Mirabel tries to ruin her life and resents her for being able to do what she wants without being under constant pressure from her family. However, their relationship improves when Isabela releases her excess emotion when Mirabel calls her a selfish, capricious little princess and grows a thorny cactus. Isabela then becomes more expressive and evolves her power by creating new plans. She will realize the real life she would like to live, a free life with the right to be imperfect. It's true that this character would tend to annoy you at times because who doesn't dream of being perfect like Isabela? Anyway, now you know that even Disney characters don't have everything they want in life. You two must have made the connection between Encanto and the Snow Queen, especially because of the song We Don't Talk About Bruno, which dramatically dethroned the famous song Let It Go as a Disney hit. But you may not have noticed other elements that parallel the two Disney animated films. Yes, you may not have noticed them, but Encanto refers to the Snow Queen, and not just once. Just open your ears and use your English knowledge. Listen to this passage where Bruno sings the song All of You. I don't know if you've been paying attention, but he's using the lyrics from The Snow Queen. When Bruno pushes Peppa to use her emotions and magic powers, the prodigal uncle sings in the original version "Let It Snow, Let It Go" with the same intonation as Princess Elsa. So much so that the legendary song from The Snow Queen is credited at the end of the film. And don't forget that Peppa Madrigal looks strangely like Anna, don't you think? You see, you didn't pay attention, and you already regret not having taken more English classes in high school. They would have at least helped you to spot this Easter egg. Come on, you'll do better for the next one. You know that famous scene where Luisa and Maribel land on an island? Do you? No, don't tell me that it didn't jump out at you. And yet this detail, not very hidden, is very remarkable for someone who does not miss any Disney movie. Open your eyes and look closely. During the musical number Surface Pressure, just after Luisa breaks the iceberg to save the Titanic, the girl is seen surfing a wave to the shore of a tropical island. Don't you think the scene reminds you of the island where the movie Vaiana takes place? Of course! The creators have not confirmed this hidden detail. However, Lin-Manuel Miranda, the one who created the music of Vaiana and Encanto, has previously talked about his desire to create a Latin American princess and to put her in the same universe as Vaiana. Well, it's true that the film does not take place entirely on an island, but it is still strange. Missed again, I'm sorry for you. But don't make that face, I'm sure you'll find the next one. It's so easy. You really like the Encanto movie poster. You find it pleasant, funny, colorful, and it makes you want to go to the movie. That's the point. But did you know that the characters on it are not placed by chance? Let's see if you like puzzles a little. We'll let you think about it by looking at the poster for a few seconds. So, did you figure it out? There's a reason why all the characters are arranged like this in the picture. They all form together the letter M, which refers to… That's right, to Madrigal, the family name. Do you feel a little silly not to have noticed it by yourself? It's true that you don't need to have an eagle eye to notice it. Anyway, now you know that movie posters say a lot more than you think. While watching Encanto, you paid more attention to the characters, who are very attractive, than to what they were wearing, which is normal. But there are some very revealing details that help a lot in understanding the story. Since I know you're not the type to guess on your own, I'll give you a little help. With a subject as magical and exciting as Encanto, inevitably, the filmmakers behind this incredible film decided to add more magic by slipping in small, discreet, but very meaningful details, having to do with the different powers of the magical family, and this by placing them on their costumes. If you open your eyes carefully, you will see that the members of the family have drawings on their backs, symbols of their magical powers. For example, Bruno's costume is punctuated with little hourglasses, synonymous with time, which inevitably reminds us of his ability to see the future. Camilo's poncho is strewn with chameleons, which reminds us of his power to transform himself into other creatures. Let's not forget Luisa's skirt, which is equipped with dumbbells because she has an immeasurable strength, and finally Peppa's earrings, which are in the shape of a sun, because she has the ability to change the time. And yes, more details that you missed. Decidedly, spotting Easter eggs is not your forte. So, will you pay attention next time you see the movie again? You are as much a fan of Disney animated films as you are of soccer, and that's good because what I'm about to show you is going to please you a lot. But if you're really a big soccer fan, as you say, you should notice this Easter egg by itself. Otherwise, you won't be able to claim to be unbeatable in the field. Look at this scene, where Bruno recreates a soccer match with Raz. You may have recognized the reenactment of a well-known Colombian match. No? Doesn't it tell you anything? Well, this reconstruction refers to a match of the 1990 World Cup in Italy, where Colombia played against Germany. The scene alludes to the goal that the player Freddy Rincon sumptuously scored for the German national team. The game shows how, with a full tactical understanding, the Colombian team of the time manages to beat the German team. I know you are disgusted that you couldn't notice this detail on your own, and you must feel all ashamed. But don't worry, because it's true that it's difficult to make the connection between the two. You need to have a very rich general sports culture since it goes back a long time. Now take the opportunity to ask a friend who is a fan of soccer and Disney movies like you. We'll see if he'll notice or not. You're watching Encanto and you're so caught up with the story, especially with Bruno's character, that you didn't notice an interesting detail. You will have to open your eyes to spot it. Look at this sequence, where we can see Bruno very well. If you pay attention to the background, you will notice that behind the prodigal uncle is a little green plant growing in an old boot, which is not surprising coming from a character as eccentric as him. A nice little Easter egg, a wink to Wall-E, since we find the same thing in that movie. You're disappointed that you didn't pay attention to it, but that's okay. You'll be more observant next time. You particularly like the character of Bruno Madrigal, son of Alma Madrigal, who has the incredible ability to see the future. He has a very eccentric personality, a penchant for rats, and his often terrible visions have earned him the label of Ugly Duckling, which has ultimately alienated him from the Madrigal family. But did you know that in spite of this, he may not have been entirely remote? You'll have to keep your eyes open and your concentration sharp, because we're going to show you those sequences where Bruno sneaked into the film without you having seen him. Just when you thought Bruno had disappeared for years, it turns out, through Mirabel, that she had secretly hidden inside the walls of their house and never left the family. That's why we see him here in the balcony, while Dolores is singing "We Don't Talk About Bruno." He is sneaking out to get some food from the kitchen. He is also seen in the background on the promotional poster, hiding behind Mirabel and a plant, wearing his famous green cape. I told you to keep your eyes open. It's not for lack of warning. Now you'll have the impression to see him everywhere, Bruno. Now, tell us in the comments if you noticed these things in Encanto, and don't forget to subscribe and click here to watch another of our videos.